Yeah, with both of us as young professionals in our mid-careers, Madhuji, how would you assess that business has changed over the years, and what advice would you have for the next generation?
Business has changed, but values have never changed. So there's always a temptation of being opportunistic, right? Make quick money, shine, go ahead in life at any cost. That should never happen. And so long as you've got your values intact, I think whatever challenges will come, you'll be able to overcome them. And I think doing sadhana daily, I think is not negotiable. That is the only sort of saving, blessing, shield that we have to overcome whatever obstacles come. And the world is going through a very difficult phase, we all know, politically and even economically, and probably more difficult days to come. And one doesn't really know what's going to be the impact of AI on the human race, on employment. There are a lot of people, in fact, somebody said, most of the software programmers don't know that they're writing code to actually make themselves redundant. Because eventually AI will take over everything, including cognitive abilities. So what does it do to mankind? Very difficult to predict at this stage. I don't think our mind has gone to that level. So all I can say is we are in the sunset years. We've been there, done that, finished our career. But I do fear for the generations to come, including our children, grandchildren, and all the youngsters, including both of you on the call, because it's a very, very uncertain and challenging future. But unlike others, you are blessed that you have Gurudev in your lives. So at the end of the day, there will be a solution that will be found, and things will not sort of throw you off your balance. But how many of are as privileged as both of you are at your age or even younger? And that is why Gurudev says there's no time to lose. We must actually spread this knowledge as quickly as possible, because that is the only savior for humanity. Right? Otherwise, you cannot deal with situations. I mean, look at the pervasive influence of social media on youngsters. I mean, you're talking about drugs and cigarettes and, people lacing sweets with drugs to bring children at the age of 7 and 8 into this habit. It's happening in India, And all I'm saying is it's very, very frightful. If any of your children are exposed to that, you've lost them in your life. Which parent wants to face that? But these are not challenges which we are reading in, the news. It's actually happening in our doorstep. Right? So it is a very, very scary situation that the world is facing today. Most people don't know how to look for solutions. The solutions are there with us. And I think it is therefore our responsibility to ensure that this knowledge goes deeper and faster than what it is being done today. And like I say in all my, counsel or talks to the graduating teachers, there's no better way to invite people on the path than to live this knowledge. If you live the knowledge, people will be inspired. How did you actually come here? Because you were inspired by Gurudev. Because he said in a human form, it is possible to live this wisdom. Correct? Be in the present moment, be complete, unconditional love, etc., and always be smiling. So if that is something that we can all emulate, I think we have done our job.
Madhuji, in these times of financial instability, what advice do you have to businesses, commerce, especially the young entrepreneurs of India? I'd like to ask this question.
Like I told you, work hard, don't be opportunistic, have faith, and at the same time, keep your feet on the ground. Some people will face tremendous successes. Tremendous, because that was their destiny. Right? You find almost billionaires in their late 20s, early 30s today. Right? But the challenge is that you're not able to handle that. And that's because you're not grounded. So again, going back to what I mentioned earlier, you need to get into a daily sadhana. whatever it is, you need to ensure that you have that spirituality firmly ingrained in you, the value system ingrained in you, and at the same time be very, very hardworking. Don't ever come from a space of entitlement. That's how businesses fail. The next generation comes from a space of entitlement. I'm born in this family, this is my entitlement. And businesses fail, right? You come from a space of gratitude. And that is a privilege to serve people.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I think to add to that, I would say challenges are required. They have to dream, they have to have goals, but not being feverish about it. That's the bottom line. And how not to be feverish is by having spiritual practices. So seva, satsang, sadhana, and silence. My
she puts that the last priority. You've seen that.
We need all of that. We need all of that. No matter what they are doing or who's doing what. It's the bottom line for it.
Yes. So yeah, Sandhya ji, what advice you have for householders and to prepare for the future in these times of financial instability?
I think fundamentally, to keep a family okay, you have to be okay. And for you to be okay, obviously you have to be calm, centered, etc. Right? So being happy, celebrating, all that comes naturally. Once you're meditating or doing Sudarshan Kriya or any spiritual practice, I always tell people, like people say, air is for free. Use it to calm yourself down. No matter what you practice in your life, it's an essential part of our lives. So if you are centered, then the world around you automatically, the peace will follow you, no matter what. It's a natural thing, right? And if you're chaotic, chaos will follow. So I think whether it's a householder, by the way, I used to be a software programmer before Art of Living for more than 20 years and then became a teacher. So, but once I did Art of Living, I said, I don't want to do any software programming ever. Yeah, and that's how I'm happy that I did it. So basically, anything that you do, the effect is a ripple effect, yeah? And then the neighbors, the friends, the immediate family, the extended family, and so forth, so on and so forth, yeah. So that's the bottom line.
If I just add a couple of comments to what she said. I think the challenge today is the families are becoming more and more nuclear. And then with the husband and wife both earning to make ends meet and give the child a decent lifestyle, obviously there are a lot of challenges coming with it. And like I said, with the advent of social media, you often find children, all of them having a tablet or something, and at the age of 3 and 4, they're already watching the screen. As Gurudev says, you have attention deficiency syndromes starting at a very young age. So all these are issues that parents have to grapple with. And most of them are basically taking a convenient exit or a convenient solution rather than taking the right solution. And this has a ripple effect. And if you don't have, families are moving apart also. You don't find the type of togetherness that probably we in our generation have, of cousins and everybody coming, because, even siblings move away from one another. So that way you see the society at the family level is becoming fragmented. I think at a global level, it's going to become worse. So I think all this comes with awareness. And, that is the beauty of Art of Living, that you create this sense of belongingness and awareness and telling people that there's a bigger role that we have to play in life. Yeah?
And live with example. Live by being an example.
Absolutely. Yes, yes.